Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back again with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news and updates here on the channel. I am so excited to be talking about this. We actually got a brand new interview from Jun Furutani with some interesting information. Again, nothing super groundbreaking, but there is something that was, pretty cool that caught my eye. Now, I'm just going to say it right here at the beginning of the video for those of y'all that just want to hear all the cool new stuff that was actually talked about. And then we'll also dive into the actual interview itself. I'm not going to watch the full interview just because it's like 6 minutes long, and I know you guys don't want to sit there and watch it. Some of y'all probably already saw it. If you want to watch it for yourself, you can. Okay, it's on Bandai Namco's YouTube channel. But basically, the main thing that I got from this was that in the custom battle mode for Sparking Zero, they stated that they have roughly 5,000 lines that can be used for custom dialogue. Now, keep in mind, this was not confirmed to be like voice files, like actual voice acting, okay? I don't even know if that would even work, right? Because, there are certain tones and the dialect and everything with these characters whenever you're doing, actual customization for them speaking. If that were the case, it's not going to be like AI or any of that shit, right? Like, that's not what it is. So this is just text, okay? They really do specify that this is text for subtitles that you can add in the actual little cutscenes for your what-if story mode, custom battles, and everything. So that's what they were trying to get at. Like I said, we'll go into it a little bit more deeper in the interview, but I wanted to talk about that just because that was kind of the main thing that popped out for me and really stood out. So again, the interview is there. Look at Jun Furutani's face, bro. He's like, oh yeah. So yeah, let's talk about some of the things that I found interesting. There were 3, 4, or 5 questions that were asked from the interviewer. I guess it was Bandai or whoever. This was at Gamescom, okay? Now, I'm going to go over just a few of them. Like I said, the ones that were interesting to me. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here in the channel, and ring my notification bell if you guys like these videos and want to keep on seeing more information and updates on Sparking Zero as always. So the very first question that they asked is, why did you want to revive the Budokai Tenkaichi series, okay? And he stated, they were inspired by the more recent developments in gaming technology to create a more immersive and modern Dragon Ball experience. There was a lot more moments that they wanted to explore that wasn't actually in Tenkaichi 3. Tenkaichi 3 never had it. He's mainly referring to all the recent stuff that came after, okay? Tenkaichi 3 is 15 years old, 16 years old at this point. So we had Dragon Ball Super, episode of Bardock, Yo Son Goku and his friends return. Not saying that any of that is in this game, but I'm just saying, there are a lot of new shit that came out for Dragon Ball over the years, and Dragon Ball Super is the main thing, right? That's what they, Tenkaichi 3 never got. The Tenkaichi series has never had Dragon Ball Super integrated into it, but, games more modern games like Fighters, Xenoverse 2, Kakarot and stuff, that has a lot of the new shit, right? Like Super Saiyan Blue and God Key and all that stuff. And it makes sense. This is something that we kind of always hoped for, but never thought in a million years that they actually were going to go through with and, come back with this series and produce one of the most insane experiences that you can have for a Dragon Ball video game. This is going to be the best Dragon Ball game ever made. I'm just going to say it right now, okay? So, yeah, it makes absolute 100% sense that's what they would, go for with this, okay? Tenkaichi 3 came out during the PS2 era. Think about the jump in technology since then. We have PS3, PS4, and now we're on PS5. That's 3 generations, bruh. So, yeah, I'm so excited for it. I just wanted to talk about that because I think it's just, a cool little thing. Now, when it comes to episode battle, this is story mode, okay? Just basic story mode. Something interesting that he stated in this kind of was expected. He said the what-if scenario paths, so whenever you take, you choose a specific path or whatever for stuff Goku goes Super Saiyan during the Saiyan saga instead of Frieza saga or whatever, okay? He stated that those paths are limited to certain battle stages and will not be available all the time, okay? So I want to reiterate that, and that makes sense, right? These are things that they're just making themselves, and this is just, completely original that they came up with, on the fly or whatever. So this is stuff that was never featured in the original series. It's a what-if scenario, okay? So you're not always going to have the opportunity to have a what-if. It's just going to be whatever that they could think of and create, okay? Again, I expected that. It wasn't going to be all that crazy. Another thing that I wanted to talk about on it is that it's not going to change up the entire story. I think it's just like a a branch off, like a branch off timeline kind of thing, and it just goes within that part. Okay, that, you know, it's gonna just end off there. It doesn't like go further or beyond, right? Like if Goku, you know, goes Super Saiyan in the Saiyan Saga, it's not like, oh, we go to the Namek Saga, now he's gonna go Super Saiyan 2, and then we go to the Cell Saga, he goes Super Saiyan 3. That's not what's gonna happen, okay? And if that is what actually what will happen, which it's not, that would be absolutely batshit crazy, and I don't know how they would have had the time to develop that, okay? I know 5 years of development, but there's so many other things that they're focusing on in this game, so I doubt that they're going to go that hard, but they're going pretty hard still, okay? I wanted to correct that because I think some people misinterpreted that when I was talking about the story mode and the what if paths for the first time. People were thinking, oh, okay, we can, you know, if you change this one, you know, outcome, it's going to affect the entire story. Like that, no. It's just going to cut off there. So after Goku goes Super Saiyan and beats Vegeta's ass, you know, with that one little scenario, I think it just ends off there, and then you go through the story like you normally would with the regular timeline, and then if you're, you know, if you're lucky, they'll have another path for some other point, right? And it might depend on the character that you use. Remember, there are 8 characters that you can select that have their own little story, okay? Now, custom battle, let's talk about that. Okay, that's what you're seeing here on this part right here, okay, and what I talked about. So, just for, you know, the general basis, the foundation of custom battle, you can customize the positioning of the player, camera movements, pose, facial expressions, and all of these can be chosen from a variety of pre-made options, okay? Which makes sense, right? You want to have Goku be angry, or you want him to, you know, be happy while he's getting his ass beat, right? This is basically like Sparking Zero's photo mode, in a sense. Is as close as you're going to get to like a photo mode, okay? Now, again, this is the interesting stuff and the details on the, you know, dialogue. There are also scripts and subtitles that can be added to cutscenes with roughly 5,000 lines that can be chosen from, okay? That's a lot, man. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, why don't they just let us, you know, just write our own dialogue, okay? Obviously, they're not going to do that because, you know, people are going to, you know, say some of the most out-of-pocket bullshit, offensive shit and stuff, because, guys, remember, you can save these and upload them online for other people to play. So if you're using a bunch of slurs or, like, you know, fucked up shit or language or, like, weird, nasty shit, saying some, like, ridiculous crap, obviously, ain't nobody want to see that. Okay, maybe some of y'all freaky motherfuckers want that, but, yeah, that's not how it's going to be. And maybe they could have banned a few words and just had you, you know, type it out, like, for, like, example, like some of the Nintendo, you know, games or whatever, like certain names, if you're going to choose your name for something, obviously they ban specific words, okay? But I think they just made it a little bit easier, so they said, hey, this is all you get, don't fuck with it, all right? Don't fuck it up, right? And I'm fine with it. I don't mind it, okay? If you have 5,000 lines to choose from, I'm sure that will be more than enough, okay? I don't think there's anything crazy that you need to be typing out, right? But if you have a problem with that, then, you know, just, I guess, cry about it. I don't know. Go email Jun Furutani, and he will not ever read it. Okay, moving on here. He says, within these, you can also switch certain nouns. An example is that you can change the name of characters like Goku and Vegeta. I'm not exactly sure how that kind of works. I guess that means, like, instead of his name being Goku on there, like, you say, oh, you're a, you know, a jerk instead. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see when it comes out, right? But they just added that in the text, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So instead of saying, oh, what's up, Goku? Oh, what's up, you know, see, I say, oh, you freaky motherfuckers, but I'm the one I wanted to say, like, oh, you asshole, or like, you know, bitch, or something like that. Like, just something, you motherfucker. Like, you know, it's just, that's just how it is, bro. People want to do that. I don't know exactly. Again, they're nouns, so you can, like, switch it up, right? Switch it up, change it up, have a good time with it, okay? It's gonna be peak. It's gonna be fun. This game is cooking, and custom battle mode is definitely by far the feature I am most excited for out of anything, okay? I'm hyped for everything. The story mode's gonna be sick. The cutscenes are gonna be sick, you know, but the custom battle mode is what's gonna be feeding us for generations. I'm talking, like, that's content upon content and upon content that you can just last forever. Obviously, there are certain scenarios that people will make that a lot of people want to make, like, for example, like, you know, Goku Super Saiyan 4 versus Ultra Instinct as a what if scenario. That's just like, you know, one of the things that you can do as a custom battle, right? And have like a little story like, oh, you were strong. Oh, well, I'm stronger. Fuck you. See, I want to say all the nasty shit. But yeah, yeah, I thought that was interesting and cool. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it. Last thing I wanted to get into is a little bit of gameplay that was uploaded that was cool and interesting from Bandai Namco. All right, guys, we're going to watch this gameplay. Baby Vegeta GT using the Final Flash skill in Sparking Zero, okay, which was in the trailer, but this is like the full cinematic of it. He's fighting Oob, regular Oob.
I'll end you. Die, scum! Big Bang Attack!
Oh man, okay, so y'all heard that correct? I assume you did. I'm sure everybody and their mom saw it yesterday, okay? He says Big Bang Attack. Okay, I don't remember that. I do not remember that. That was part of the original games, and it was also in the anime too. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that was something like, oh yeah, they brought it back or whatever, okay? I didn't even, like, there was no way I could have remembered that. And I saw a lot of people being like really annoying about it on Twitter, like, oh, this motherfucker didn't watch the series, or Dragon Ball fans don't watch the series. And I know you're joking, and it's you know, people are funny, but some people are being like dead serious about it, and it gets annoying as fuck because it's like, guys, you don't know how many people didn't remember this, okay? Again, a lot of us haven't watched GT in like decades, right? This shit is an old series, okay? And hey, you know, more power to you. If you watched it more recently and you did a rewatch of it, awesome. I don't even remember the last time I watched GT. I think I was watching it when it was airing on Toonami, like in the early 2000s. That's like 20 years ago or some shit, bro. So that's crazy. I think it's really cool that is something that, you know, I don't want to say necessarily brought back, because it was in Tenkaichi 3 and everything, and it's based on what he says in the actual, like, you know, the anime and the games. But yeah, it is what it is, right? I think I thought it was just kind of funny that they you know, are being consistent with it. I even said that here on Twitter. I said, hey, you know, props to the Sparking Zero team for keeping Baby Vegeta's lines consistent to their anime and the original games. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support as always. Y'all are the real ones. Y'all are the legends that come through to the content. I love y'all so much. That looked like a deformed, I don't even know what that is. It was like looked like a turd that I just made. But yeah, I love you guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about all this shit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.